Welcome to Weeping Willow Homestead and another What We Eat for Dinner in a Week. In these videos, I show you how I combine inexpensive all-day groceries with food that we are blessed with from the food pantry to make hopefully well-balanced, delicious meals. As a family, we generally eat low carb because my husband and I do for health reasons, and me being the sole cook in the house, it is easier for me to just make one meal than to try to be a short order cook. But you will see variations to that, and I will explain as we go. If you have been with me for a while, last week I said that my grandma had passed away. I deeply, deeply appreciate all of the prayers for my family. If you could continue to pray for my daddy. Seeing my daddy cry was harder than seeing my grandma gone. Because he's my big, strong daddy and he's my hero. But he deeply loved his mom. Very, very close to her, and he's struggling. He's okay. He's just, it's hard. He's heartbroken. So the services were beautiful. It ended up being beautiful weather. There are 92 current living descendants of her and my grandpa. I know. So it was a lovely opportunity to see a lot of relatives that I haven't seen in several years, because a lot of them live down south, that kind of thing. We live in the Midwest, so like Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia, I think Texas was the farthest that one came. So so I deeply appreciate the prayers for that, and that's why I didn't do a Meals of the Week last week, is because we ended up being gone for part of the week, and just I needed an emotional break. So tonight is actually Tuesday night. Yesterday was when we got home. Her funeral was yesterday. So we didn't get home until late yesterday evening. And so we just did what we normally do on Sunday nights for dinner. We did snacky dinner for dinner yesterday when we got home. We did also stop at the grocery store on our way home and pick up that kind of end of the month fill-in grocery haul. I did not film that. I was exhausted. I was ready to be done with the day, and I still had putting away things, unpacking, all of that needed done. So, yeah, that did not happen. Anywho, so it is Tuesday night, and I'm going to do a wing it week, which just means that we have not been to the grocery store like a full run in 3 weeks. We have, I don't have a meal plan. This is when I just kind of wing it day to day. I try to plan a couple of days ahead just to have like meat thawed out, that kind of thing. But for the most part, it is very much we're going to figure it out as we go. So one of my favorite figure it out as we go meals is breakfast for dinner, because it's easy. So tonight we have home canned pears. These are sausage links from Aldi, our eggs. And then here's a fun one for you if you haven't tried this one yet. Mix up pancake mix, just your standard pancake mix, however the box directions say to do it. Mine, it was 1.5 cups of pancake mix, just to give you an idea of how much you're going for. And then it was 1 egg, a couple tablespoons of oil, and 1 cup of water. Then I added in some chocolate chips. So I did the mini chocolate chips and the peanut butter chips. Put that in a mini muffin tin and bake it at 350 for 10 minutes. That should turn out perfect. They're lightly golden brown, and they're like bite-sized. They are like the, remind me of the muffins, the Little Bites muffins, just in kind of texture and all that. Hang on, I gotta turn my timer off right quick. Then the other thing, you can do this in a full-size muffin tin, and I would say 350 for probably 15 minutes. Check it at like 13 minutes and see if they're done with the toothpick, just to make sure you don't overdo them. I will put these on the kids' plate, and then you can do like dip it in maple syrup or serve it as is or whatever. But these are really nice on like popping them in the freezer, and then the kids can pull out a couple and have, it's about the equivalent, 2 mini muffins is about the equivalent of 1 large muffin. So if you do that recipe that I stated, it should make 1 dozen. This makes 2 dozen mini muffins or 1 dozen regular size muffins. So yeah, a fun little like bite size warm pancakey type thing. So for me, we did have my mom and dad's church provided the funeral meal. And there were quite a bit of leftovers, and so they sent leftovers home with us. And then what they couldn't get leftovers sent home with other people, they took a bunch of stuff to a local homeless shelter. So awesome. So they gladly took, it was like fried chicken and baked beans and macaroni and cheese and corn and just all of that. So I do have a little bit of the leftovers from that I am going to gladly eat. I will admit my carb content on the last few days has been way higher than it should be. And I'm just going to call that grief eating, and we're going to be good enough. So, yeah, but all right. That is Monday and Tuesday night. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow. It is Wednesday night, and tonight I tried something different. I'm going to post this recipe in the show notes. It is a slider recipe like ground beef burger sliders. And you bake the meat, like patted out on parchment paper in a sheet, and then put it on top of Hawaiian rolls was what the original recipe called for. I had the like Texas Roadhouse type rolls. So then you bake the meat, and then you put it on, drain it, put it on the rolls, and top it with cheese. And then I will also have like ketchup, mustard, that kind of thing for whoever wants it on there. They look and smell good. I think they're going to be kind of like those baked sandwiches that I make sometimes. So we'll see. For me, I thawed 2 pounds of ground meat, so I pulled some of it out and made me just a plain burger patty, which is totally fine with me. Yum. With that, I canned potatoes from our garden this summer in these, and it's nice because I just drained the liquid off and then put it in the air fryer and fried it 400 for about 15 minutes. Tossed it a couple of times. They get like crispy. They kind of remind me of like oven potatoes, that kind of thing. And then I just made a quick cucumber and tomato salad. I was trying to come up with some other side to do, and that was what I came up with. And then I think I'm going to get out cottage cheese as another side, because I know a couple of my kids are iffy on the cucumber salad. So having just a little bit more of a different side would probably be helpful. So, all right, that is Wednesday evening. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Thursday night. Tonight we are having smoked sausage that I sliced, and then I also cut up about 3 small onions and sauteed those together until they were all nice and done. And then I poured in maybe 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce and let that cook just a little bit, just so that the barbecue sauce kind of caramelizes a little bit. It's a weird one, but it tastes good, so, you know. And then we got those 2 summer squash from the food pantry today, and I combined those with 1 zucchini that we had in the refrigerator already, and made zucchini fritters, or, yeah, zucchini fritters, I guess was what we would call them. So it is those 3 zucchini, and then you add in salt and let it sit, and that will draw all the moisture out. And then I put it in a tea towel and squeeze as much water out as you can. And it's a lot. Like, you're going to lose a lot of volume. That's why we did 3 whole zucchini summer squash. The more water you get out, the better, because that's going to make them have a better texture to them. Then 1 egg, a handful of shredded cheddar cheese, some Parmesan cheese, and then I did almond flour. If you don't have to do low carb or gluten-free, use regular flour. And then I just fried them in a pan. I did not add any salt to it or seasoning, because between the salt that's in it to get the liquid out, and the salt that's in the cheese and stuff, I just didn't feel like it needed it. And then I am going to pull the lazy card. I was trying to come up with some other side dish to do with this, and just could not think of anything. So we're going to do potato chips. It's been a long day, and I have yeah, had a lot going on while I was making dinner. So yeah, we're gonna pull the lazy card and just do chips. So I have those out. So that is Thursday night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Friday night, and Friday night at our house means pizza night. Sometimes that is store-bought, sometimes it's homemade. It's pretty much never takeout because we live too far out in the country for takeout to be delivered. And I can make a whole lot of frozen or from scratch pizzas for way less and even faster than going and getting it and bringing it home and whatnot. So we just don't do it. So tonight I took the package of 4 naan bread that we picked up, I think, last week. My days are running together. From the food pantry, I picked those up and I just used those to make pizzas. This is a super quick, super fun way of making pizza because I just thawed them out. I always keep them in the freezer. I thawed them out. I put some pasta sauce on and then the cheese and toppings, and then I put them in the oven for about 10 minutes at 400 degrees. If you like yours a little bit more done, do them closer to the 12 to 15 minute range. It just kind of depends. But because the crust is already done, you don't want to go too terribly much further than that because you'll burn your crust. So these were on the bottom rack, which is why they're a little bit toastier looking than these are. I should have rotated them, but I did not. To go with this, I have grapes that I picked up when we were on our way home from the funeral. We stopped in at an Aldi and picked up like a hand, like that mid-month grocery haul type of thing. So I picked up some grapes from that. And we're just going to do that because I'm tired. I did something last night and pinched something in my lower back and was in pain pretty much all night last night. It is much better now. All day has been a little iffy. I had 3 loads of laundry that I had to go out to the clothesline, so I had boys carting wet laundry out for me. But I just did not sleep well last night. So for me, I had fully intended on, I left the package of, one of the packages of chicken wings from the food pantry out to thaw. And I was going to do those in the air fryer. And I pulled them out and started cutting them up, and I thought, these smell a little off. Like, they just don't smell like fresh chicken. And so I was like, I'm going to go ahead and cut these up and put them in the air fryer and start cooking them, and then I will decide once I start cooking them, maybe the smell will get better, and they did not. They do not smell like chicken. They smell off. I don't know whether it's just, I don't know. So I am going to err on the side of caution. I would absolutely hate to get food poisoning right before Easter and all of that. So I would hate to get food poisoning, period. So it is not worth the risk for me. So I am going to toss those. So because of that, I'm not sure what I'm having for dinner. We got those tomatoes, and as soon as I saw them, I thought, ooh, a burger with a nice thick slab of tomato on it sounds really good. So I might end up just doing that because I've got some of the frozen Aldi burger patties in the freezer. So I might just do that and call it good enough. So yeah, I could do some zucchini fries with it. That sounds good. So tonight is also the one night a week that we do dessert, and we have ice cream sandwiches and ice cream bars and ice cream. There's just all of the random probably ice cream stuff that we have gotten. I will bust it out and let the kids pick and choose whatever they want. So all right, that is a long Friday. We'll see you tomorrow. It is Saturday, and Saturday I usually make a big meal so that we have leftovers for tomorrow. And I will explain why here in just a minute. So tonight, on our way home from my grandma's funeral, we stopped at Aldi and picked up some random groceries, and I found these thin sliced ribeye boneless steaks for 30% off. So that made them like the whole package was like $5, and it was 6, 7, 8 of these thin steaks. I think these are supposed to be used for something like beef and broccoli, something along those lines, fajitas. But I just marinated them, and I will put our marinade recipe in the show notes because it's yummy. I just marinated those and just seared them really quick. Trying to do that. There we go. My hair tie. Yeah. So they taste really good, and it was just like a nice, quick, and easy meat. With that, I have something called Haluska, which I am not sure. I think it's Russian or something along those lines. And it is a cabbage and pasta, and then you make like a creamy sauce with cottage cheese and sour cream, or just sour cream. I did both. And I will put this recipe in the show notes. It's one that I haven't made in a long time, but it's one that everybody liked when I used to make it. So I just haven't made it because low carb. But I pulled out some of the cabbage and creamy mix before I stirred in the noodles. So that's how I will do mine. And then some garlic green beans. These are our homegrown frozen green beans. And yes, those are radishes that you're seeing. Radishes, when you cook them, are no longer spicy. They still have a peppery flavor, but they don't get spicy anymore. So I put the green beans frozen with the radishes in the pan and put some water in there, covered them, and steamed them until they were all done. Then I took the lid off and cooked until the water was all cooked off, and then added in garlic powder and bacon grease and sauteed those until they were nice, and I like them a little bit more done than this, but we're all hungry and ready to eat. And then I added in some minced garlic as well that I just cooked in the bottom of the pan for like that 30 seconds to a minute to get it fragrant. Stirred that all up, salt, and you're done. So this turned out to be a fairly quick meal. The shredding of the cabbage and all that was a little bit long, but I was doing a bunch of other things while I was doing this. So if you are new here, this is the end of our week of meals. Tomorrow is Easter, so we will not be home, but usually what we do is when we get home from church, I pull out all of the leftovers, which is why I make a big meal on Saturdays, and we eat leftovers for lunch. Great way of getting leftovers used. Then for dinner, I pull out charcuterie board snacky type things, and the kids pick and choose whatever they want. And it makes for a day of me not cooking. I don't cook or clean or do laundry or anything like that on Sundays. I take the day off. So obviously we will not be home tomorrow. We are going down and spending the night at my parents' house. They're hosting Easter. And then we're going to stay the night, and then we're going to come home Monday, and because of that, I wanted some leftovers when we got home so that we can potentially just have leftovers on Monday. We'll see. Because that makes for a nice, then when we get home, I'm going to be tackling all the laundry and the putting away of things and all of that. So, because my mom always gets my kids Easter baskets. We don't do Easter. Like, I am more geared toward Resurrection Sunday. We don't do like the Easter egg hunts and those kind of things. But we do, my mom does it for the kids. And so we allow that. And then we focus more on Passover and the way that the biblical holidays represent Jesus and those kind of things. It's a long story, but yeah. So anyway, that is our week of meals. I will post any relevant recipes in the show notes, and I'm going to get this hopefully edited and out this evening, or I can delay it and have it go out tomorrow, but we'll see. I do want to get it edited this evening so that I'm not worrying about trying to do it tomorrow while we're getting ready, because we have to leave here at like 10:30 in the morning to get down to my mom and dad's house. So that is everything. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Easter, whether you celebrate it or not, or however you celebrate it. So yeah, happy Easter. Goodbye and God bless.